All right, Khan. Shalom, shalom to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel. All right. We want to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh. All right. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and has taught us his word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect that also puts in his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Okay. And you little man and sisters that believe as well, peace and mercy to you and your household. So as you see here, the topic in today's class is going to be another edition of In the News. Okay. And because we're in that time of prophecy. All right. And the doors of salvation are being shut. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see here, it says harsher lockdowns and uproar of the people. So we're going to go into that, all right, and link it to biblical prophecy, as always, as prophets of the Most High. Watch. So let me just share my screen. Hey, shalom. Y'all watch your mashup. Give me a second here. Perfect. Okay. Just bear with me 2 seconds here. A little slow on the computer. Okay. Ease on, man. Okay, give me a second. There you go. Okay. That's slow. So, where did Slack? I'm just trying to find the video that I was watching.
You know what's good too? I know that Rumble's a good site, but because this new bill
Rumble's
is passing throughout Canada, they're gonna affect a lot of Canadian content like Rumble and these different websites.
Slack here. I think I have it. Okay, come. It's that video. Okay. Oh, it was alive. Okay. Cotton. So just a couple things they say in here that I want to bring out, and you can see it says it's new lockdown.
Everything you wish for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing.
It says coming new lockdown pandemic strategy exposed by government officials. I want to get a specific part within this.
Until this happens. Be careful what you wish for. Build your site on a platform that
All right, there we go. Finally. Okay.
The World Health Organization and former UK Health Secretary Matt Hancock, who warned yesterday during testimony that we need to lock down harder next time. We need to lock down harder, his words, when the next severe virus hits us, because that severe next virus is coming. Remember, Bill Gates told us the next one would be more severe. It's already in the works. Oh, it's coming. So, of course, it's coming, and they will lock us down harder than ever before, because that, according to these health ministers, was the great mistake, that we didn't lock down hard enough. We were too lenient on people. Yesterday, Hancock testified.
Right. And let me get something real quick, because that's just code for like what the scriptures have been saying from time about this devil having great wrath. Okay, because he knows he has a short time. All right, all these politicians and officials that are in government, they get all their orders from the bankers, the elites. Okay, or other, as well as known as the small hats. The Dean is really fucking with my computer right now. Okay. So let me get here Revelation 12 and 12. We know the scripture, of course, Revelation 12 and 12. And it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Okay, and that's exactly what these again Esau is getting ready to do, right? While the majority of the world is wrapped up in pride, okay, within themselves and everything else that's going on. You Jakes, especially within Israel, you have to be keeping up with the prophets and the prophecies, man, because that's how you know. That's how you know how close we are, where we are within this time period. Okay, Esau's going to let you have your summer, like he did in 2020. And Lord willing, we don't know how the Lord's going to do it, but we're looking at all these different events and situations that are happening, and we're just waiting for the Lord to really shut things down, man. Okay, because we're hastening.
Even in the States, there was like a couple mass shootings throughout America that affected a lot of Negroes, the tribe of Judah. I forgot what state it was, but there was at least like 15 people got shot in certain
cities. I think I saw that video.
And like 30 people. And then there's another shooting, I believe it was the 4th of July, like the fireworks. So there's gonna be all kind of different hell, man. People's gonna catch. So if you don't, so you have to be very circumspect, be aware of your surroundings, because things is happening out here, man.
Yeah, he did say virus. Go ahead, brother.
Con.
Poison. Judgment. Yeah, okay.
I have the NLT version. I have the NLT one.
For the
sure.
This is Revelation 12, verse 12, the NLT. "Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who live in the heavens. Rejoice, but terror will come on the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you in great anger, knowing that he have a little time." So we see what's going on over in France.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. What's going on over there in France? I'm just looking up real quick. Heavens here, and that precept, the brother right here. It says a vaulted expanse of the sky with all things visible, universe, aerial sky, straight heaven region. So not much in here, but it says, oh, look, Khan, Strong's definition. This is kind of what I was looking for. It says, by implication, happiness, right? Power. But right here it says happiness, because a lot of you people are living, you know, you're basically deceived by the state of your living.
Yeah.
You're deceived by the state of your own living, okay? Because the rug is getting ready to get pulled under from under the majority of the whole world, man. Just like it did 2-3 years ago in 2020. On in this video here.
UK's COVID inquiry to figure out what went wrong and what went right. And newsflash, nothing went right. In fact, it was the worst possible outcome. And Matt Hancock, the health minister at the time, has blood all over his hands. Here's how the Telegraph lays out the sort of web of people involved in there. There's Matt Hancock right in the center of your screen, the who's who of the folks involved in the lockdowns that screwed millions of people out of their jobs and health and future income. And I mean, any other thing you can think of? I mean, mental health disorders increase. I mean, all
manner of now unpredicted deaths. You recall, Matt Hancock is the one who had his telegraph, his messages leaked from the woman who was writing a book with him. That showed that a lot of the policies they made during the COVID pandemic, they made the policies first and then sort of reached back and said, where's the science for this? What can we promote it with? How do we use this for people to implement these rules? Showing that they were not doing this based on any kind of science at all, but only as a power grab. No, in fact, when asked to speak for this, James Bethel, the former health minister, said, yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. Just be grateful we didn't kill your pets. Yeah. This is the same Matt Hancock we're talking about.
Yeah, and this is the same guy who those same text messages.
Right, and let me get this precept. So, although 3 years later now they're kind of, you got different news outlets going in on the fact that the whole thing was orchestrated and set up, but the prophets, we started with the apostles and elders on now, we've been telling you, all right, through the Holy Spirit, that this is how Esau gets down, you Israelites. This is how Esau gets down, and he does it by what? His laws. Okay. And it says, so I'm going to get Isaiah 10:1. As we all know, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, right? That right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, right? So basically your so-called rights, which are, your rights are all a sham as well. So-called human rights. You have all these different kind of rights, right? But Esau at the same time, he mixes around with those laws. He uses them as he wills, according to his own desires, right? The scriptures talk about not being ignorant of Satan's devices, right? It says the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And truly, you Israelites, all right, Israel was the most affected, right, through the whole from the whole lockdowns and losing jobs to the icky vicky being injected. Okay.
Yeah, I got a quick precept because, just before we came on, you had mentioned a powerful thing, right? In regards to these scriptures, they're only safeguard, pursuing to, Isaiah 33:6, the whole of it, right? That is embodied in our deliverer. And so, Second Esdras, if you could read Second Esdras 14, chapter 14, verses 17 to you go to read 17 and 18, right? The point is in the 17th verse. Start from 14.
In the 2008 financial crisis,
yeah? You get a chance.
47%. Yet one man, hedge fund manager Larry Benedict, posted 23% gains. He delivered $95 million in pure profit to his clients.
It is, man. It's like it. So it was second verse
Hancock.
14.
Yeah, 14 and 14, he said. Or 17.
Yeah, second answer is 14. Yeah, chapter 14. Start at the 14th verse. The point is in the 17th verse, right?
I got second address 14, verse 14. Let go from the immortal thoughts and cast away the burden of man. Put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and has thee to flee from these times.
Yeah, run from these times, meaning that stay in the spirit. Simply put, oh, go ahead.
This is in the Old English. For yet greater evils.
Right? Isn't that the
That
forecast of this video so far? Isn't that what these people are talking about? The evils of this place.
Yeah.
So the scriptures are far ahead. The Lord is way ahead, and the elect is just not far behind in spirit and in truth, man. So we see it coming, and there's nothing that these people can actually tell us. And as you said, brother, before the meeting started, this is where we are in these upper rooms, right? All these articles and so forth like that. There will come a time when we're not going to be dealing with it on no mortal level.
God.
And this really speaks to the mindset that brothers should be in, right?
Exactly.
Because it mentioned put away the weak nature.
That's right.
Let go of the thoughts that are most heavy, man. Brothers are thinking about rent or mortgage or car payments or different things like that. But the times that we're coming into, all that shit's going to get swept away.
Yeah.
It's going to be your life that's going to be sought after.
That's why the scriptures always, that's why the scriptures always, the scriptures speak about how this truth right here is true riches, man. This is what you should be storing up. You should be storing your riches up in heaven, man. What? Right?
For yet greater evil than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look,
so it's going to get worse, Slacker brother. So it's going to get way worse than it is right now, man. So we all have to be sharp in the spirit. Like it's more now than ever, right? It's high time for us to really buckle down even more so than we did last month or last week or yesterday, really, because every day is a new day. Okay.
For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more shall evil increase upon them that dwell therein. For the trust, it says
and remember that word evil means bad times. So you're seeing certain previews like in France and Paris, right? And they still have it good because they have running water and they have electricity. They're talking about shutting off the internet, but they're still in civilization, so to speak. But we're coming to a time where it's going to get real bad.
All the comforts will be fucked up. Anyway,
that's right. All your necessities,
For the truth is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now has the vision to come, which thou hast seen. Then answered I before thee and said, Behold, Lord, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present. But they that shall be born afterward who shall admonish them. Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light. So this world is on a dark frequency, man.
That's right.
See what these so-called wildfires, which is their population, like the climate lockdown, You know, because because some days are a nice day, and then next day like it's like gloomy.
Gloomy.
You know, they're spraying whatever in the air so that people can't look and see the sun. You know.
Yeah, the sky's all hazy and shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's supposed to be a clear day.
Yeah.
Clear as hell.
We're in
Hey,
hell.
let me. Can I get this word leasing here, right? Because it says, "For the truth is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand." Right. So leasing, right? It comes to the word lease. It says legal contract conveying property, usually for a fixed period of time with a fixed compensation. So basically, going into work, right? It says,
the grinding will cease.
Or rent.
Yeah,
Mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Anything
mortgage is like basically a lease, like a death pledge.
That's right.
Same thing, basically.
That's right. Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, hold it off there, okay, brothers, for now, because we might get back to it so you can continue. Might get back to the rest, all right? Salakia. Just wanted to say
this out. A quick reset.
Yeah, go ahead.
Based on what the elder mentioned, it's gonna come to that time when we just have to give up what we have. You have to be so carnal of the things of this world of Isa, right? Luke 8 and start 17, and it reads, "For nothing is secret that should not be made manifest, neither anything hid that should not be known and come abroad." Verse 18, "Take heed before how you hear, for whosoever hath, to him should be given, and whosoever hath not, from him should be taken even that which he seemed to have." So in that time, we're gonna, to the Spirit of Heavenly Father, we're gonna be able to get, food, shelter, because like the elder said, they're gonna get rough in this place.
And this also shows you how powerful this truth is and how powerful it is what we're doing in the sense of prophesying and speaking against his kingdom with the words of truth. Because verse 17, it says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest." Right? And that's why, they liken this age to the age of information. Right? You have all this information coming out on Esau and what the government really is down with, how they get down, all the different idol worshiping and child sacrificing in the industries, right? All this stuff is coming out because we're in the latter days.
That's right.
And according to prophecy, Esau in the latter days, his skirt would be lifted. Okay.
Yeah, that's like these guys. Jake now is gone with the whole the alternative way of life. They're painting their fingernails.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's mom, like she's down with that program because she's already been a part of that.
Yeah,
from before Jay-Z was born. She was she was involved in that alternative way of life. So they're making it like a reality, this pansexuality.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a vibration going out. Yep.
Yeah.
At that time, that lockdowns would cause more harm than good. So, I mean, it wasn't even close, actually.
Well, the video we showed yesterday showed that the World Health Organization already had poverty statistics about what would happen with lockdowns. They knew how many more, girls would be married off early, how many more child brides, how many more people would be pushed into poverty. So that was presumably information that could have been shared with.
Right. So again, as you see, right, they already knew the outcomes as to what would happen, the poverty, the job loss, all those things, right? Because Esau collects data, right? That's what he does. He collects data. Right, and the world is like a huge lab rat, for him, right? And they're always testing things on everybody, on the people, mainly you Israelites, and that's basically what the first go around was, man. So that's how we also know, on top of everything else that we've been bringing out, that this time around, okay, these lockdowns are going to be way more extreme than it was, previously.
Because he has these big corporations and basically it's to eat like a corporation is like a corpse, so they're basically eating up our flesh, with these different contracts, these different bills, and basically he's eliminating a lot of people, like with his contracts and all that.
That's right.
I have a quick precept, Job 5 verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hand cannot perform the enterprise, because they plan on basically having a new lockdown and lock down the world, and basically like have the complete takeover of the globe,
Yep. The MO con.
Yeah, like they're gonna basically lock down the world. They're gonna basically do harsher measures, a lot of restrictions, and you won't have no freedom.
That's right.
Man's goal. I have the NLT, Job 5 verse 12. He frustrated the plans of the schemers, so the work of their hands will not succeed. So they're not gonna succeed. Like, even though like they're gonna be very close, like to basically try to have the world basically like charagma or chipped, and like basically like when they're doing that, World War III is gonna brew up even more. So that's gonna bring more blood on the earth.
Yeah,
and that's when the Lord's gonna come.
Yep. When you go to the dollar bill, it tells you right there, right? Their enterprise, right? And that like that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, going to New World Order. So just like the elder said, man, once they once their belly is full, right? World War III is going to pop up. The Lord is going to stir the mind of these kings to start World War III.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and their counsel of the forward is carried headlong. Like, I still have more, but if you want to continue with this article.
I'll continue a little bit here.
Governments. So then it was wild yesterday for him to try this sort of half-hearted apology, because he knew ahead of time. It was like premeditated murder. Like, he knew ahead of time how much this would screw up society, and then did it anyway. So yesterday he came up with this half-hearted apology during this.
And all these different Edomites that now are being indicted for all this and stuff. They're just basically fall men, right? For the elites. This is all like controlled demolition, basically. Okay, because again, Job 9:24 has told you that the world is given into the hand of the wicked, right? And they control a lot of these different. Well, they control all these politicians and these health ministers and officials and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, because the world's a stage, right?
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
Like they have like the prime minister of Ukraine. He's dancing up and he's doing all kind of shit. I was like, come on, man. Place is a damn joke, man. So,
he's on stage, brother. He's on stage.
He's on stage.
Yeah.
Inquiry, and he turned to the families of those who were there to like look him down and stare him down, who were had lost ones, there to confront him. So he turned to them to give this sort of half-hearted apologies. These families turned away from him, didn't even want to look him in the eye.
And the majority, again, the ethnicity of these families, the majority of them were Israelites. Okay.
Here was this half-hearted, weird apology yesterday from Matt Hancock.
The real estate market is about to take a 180-degree turn.
And if I may say so, I am profoundly sorry for the impact that had.
So, he goes, I'm not going to really go into the apology because it's bullshit anyways, but I just wanted to bring the point out because, for years, Israel has been basically neglecting who their enemy are, right? And the scriptures tell us about, our enemy, right? And clearly tell us that even though he come crouching, right? You have to be aware of this devil, man. Okay, you have to be aware of this devil, and know that in his heart, in his heart, all he meditates is war, and how he can completely eradicate the nation of Israel. Okay.
Yeah, and he has like these different like Black Lives Matter. That's for this
Yeah.
whole this whole this pride way of life or gay way of life or whatever they call it.
Happy way.
Yeah, the happy way of life,
Yeah,
and
we don't want to get struck.
and basically like the leader or like basically the one who's funding it is the small hat, and basically it's like a whole bunch of black women and they're being exposed and they're going bankrupt, because they're like buying a lot of cars and big houses and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like a big joke.
Con.
This Black Lives Matter.
You're on stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Yeah, like that's even like these basically like these big corporations like who run these whole like record industry. Like our people sign these big contracts like to basically push death and like to fill up like the prison industrial complex and bodies. Like if they don't get them, like if they don't get them in prison, like they get them in prison. I mean, in prison or in basically death or into these hospitals because these drugs. So Esau's making a lot of profit off of our downfall, man.
Yep. It's all about the shekels.
All about those shekels for him.
Yeah.
So right now, like you could feel it because Jake is talking about what's going on. You see, like what do you call it? Drake, he's painting his fingernails and shit, like because they have to do those things, or if they don't, like they're gonna lose their big houses and big cars and shit.
Yeah.
So they have to bow down and take it. So like these niggas have no integrity, man. And the only one to have integrity is us, who's out here on the highways and byways making our videos, even though like we're insignificant. Like we have that power, man.
That's right.
We have the power of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And that comes by the way. That comes by the what? The spirit of prophecy. These words, man. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that that at the forefront of all these evils and calamities across the world, right? Who's at the forefront? These Edomites. All right, these Edomites are at the forefront because
in the shadows.
Yeah, well, the top Edomites are in the shadow. That's right, the bankers, right? We know they're running things in the shadows, but these are level Edomites, like these health ministers and officials and politicians, it's all Edomites, who are being made from millionaires to billionaires because, like the elder said, they're profiting off of your livelihood. Okay, it says verse 12: set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and he be pricked therein, and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? And that's basically the majority of Israel.
And that's even like where you Edomites that came here as pilgrims and all that, they basically buy up a lot of land. Like here in Toronto, they made a treaty like with the Gadites, right? With the Mohawks and like the Mississaugas of the Credit, all these different Gadites, and basically like they buy the land because basically, like Toronto was bought, I believe, 1810 or something. So they're buying our people's land, you know, and making a lot of profit, you know, and they have our people on the reserves, you know, and you know, fighting against the children of Israel, you know, like this was our people's land, you know, the so-called you Gadites, you know, Seminole Indians, you Ishikarites, you know, like you Mexicans, you know, that we're indigenous to this land, you know, and you conquered us, and you're raping us, man, every day. Raped every day, like by the devil. You know?
It's on stage, yeah. It is what it is. Yeah.
Oops, go back here. Go back here. I just got one more precept, then we're gonna move on to the next video here.
Quit going.
I always see this ad. This guy.
Get this Psalms. Oh yeah.
I always see that.
Psalm 64 and
Start at 1.
Con.
You talking about the secret council?
Psalm 64 and the points in 2. I'll start at 1. It says
they're called bionic boomers. Seniors, once riddled with debilitating arthritis pain, given a new lease on life thanks to Dr.
Satan's fucking around with this shit.
The prince of the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Going back anyway, Psalm 64 and 1, it says to the chief.
Satan, man.
Wow.
You should go on the like you could go on the platform. I mean, after that, I see GMS Saskatchewan, the brother out there. He posted a couple scriptures.
Yeah,
What we're going to do on this Tuesday. So glad to see you. It has been failing all day. There's been all sorts of hay fever going on. We've got a jam-packed show for you on this Tuesday. A major whistleblower event in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
Wow.
Really a historic day. The press conference was about 4 hours long. We're going to go through a lot of it for you, save you the time. You've gone through all of it. There are some major revelations that have come out of this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's what this
he
truth
put
is about, right?
Second Ezra's. There's a whole bunch of them that they put up.
Yeah, here I'll start up here. I'll get out a couple here. So this is from Arya. Shalom to the brothers on the comment board as well. This is second Ezra 16 and 20, and it reads, "But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." And he had posted at verse 19, which said, "Behold."
So even after even after like they're defeated, like when the Lord comes and the angels and the elect and the 1/3 man, you know, like they're still gonna be proud.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're gonna have to, you know, fucking, you know, hit them upside their head, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because we're gonna have that rod of iron. We're gonna be.
I was just thinking that.
Second Psalms 2 and 10.
Yeah. And it says, verse 19, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scores for amendment."
But they will not learn.
Job 20, and this is from the brother from Saskatchewan, Makaza, GMS Saskatchewan. It says, Job 20 and 22, "Fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly."
Because they're full, man. Yo, like their belly's full right now, man. and they're planning on basically having a
It's getting there, man. It's getting there.
new world order. With these global governments. We see what's happening in Nigeria. And that's it's gonna come here in the West.
Yep. Cashlessness. Yep.
Cashless society.
Yeah.
Yeah, his belly is full, but we know he's greedy. He's still eating.
Yahweh shall
It's gonna
cast the
vomit.
fury.
It's gonna vomit them up.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's right. He's not going to stop.
It says, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
Yes.
And shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yes. See? Wow.
But the man has so much land. The man has all the resources, man. And he has the people. He has the souls of the people, man.
Mm-hmm.
By these different contracts, these different. That's owned by these bankers.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go into real quick what's going on over there in France as we get rid of this ad. And I'm saying it's live here, but so this is just going into France, and France is basically a prelude of what's coming over here into the West. All right. But these top elites and bankers, they use these different countries in Europe, all right, to test trial all different other witnesses, basically, and to collect data and to see the reactions of people and whatnot, and then eventually to bring it over here. That's what happened in what is it called? In 2020, March 2020. You're hearing about it over there in the East, in China, and then all of a sudden it came over here.
The Wuhan virus.
So
China's
INC. Well, riots are raging in France and Belgium. By some counts, there are over 300 fires on public roads in these areas, 300 vehicles, 34 burned buildings, 45,000 police deployed, many of them injured, hundreds of arrests. This all spawned from a 18-year-old Muslim boy last week with an extensive criminal background who was pulled over and fatally shot by police. The video went viral and prompted protests and riots and all kinds of civil destruction that we're watching now. So I wanted to invite political analyst Ralph Scholheimer on to discuss this issue because it is a charged one. It's one that we don't want to reduce to anyone's fault, but figure out what's going on here. And is there any fix for something like this?
Right. And so basically that whole thing was spurred by an attack on Ishmael, an Ishmaelite.
Supposedly.
And
I feel like that's just a wag the dog.
Supposedly, that's what they say.
Wag the tail.
Yeah. That movie with
Wag the dog, yeah.
I think Al Pacino and
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, and Robert De Niro.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, that's what it is. And basically, it's order or the chaos. And basically, a lot of minorities over there in France, a lot of them is being charged and being abducted by these by these police, so we don't know what's going on because there's a media blackout and there's a lot of Jake over there in France.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the minorities who's protesting. So they're basically they're blaming it on our people, like the minorities, because there's a lot of people over there in France. There's the Algerians, Morocco. But there's a lot of Judah, a lot of the Southern Kingdom that's over there in France, who speak that French.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Amath, I sent you the article. Read it because, like you just mentioned right now, is going to bring these draconian laws and it's going to be more severe.
Come on. Real quick.
God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah. gonna happen.
Slappy, this thing's moving slow, man. Wow.
You want me to read it? Read it out.
Yeah, you can read it. Yeah, read it until this thing
All right,
pulls
this is
up.
from Mail Online, and it reads: the terrorist Tour de France organizers tell writers and the staff they must wear a mask. We're not racing and advanced selfies with fans. Autograph in dinners, in restaurants, in bizarre draconian COVID rules.
Is that in France?
Yeah, and this was came out June 30, 2023. Right?
So like that's a new article.
Yeah, a couple days ago, a week ago.
So what, like you won't be able to go to like these restaurants, they're saying. It's a restaurant and what else?
Yeah, the restaurants pretty much. Autographs and dinners in restaurants.
Yeah, because they already did it like 2020, like where you couldn't go out to eat or go to a movie unless you unless they had proof that you were indoctrinated, like you were got the shot.
Yeah. So the point is, the point is that people think that this is done or this is over, but it's not, because there's more to come. There's more things that are going to be more severe than what we had in the last 3 years, right? And some people are not. Some people are not ready for that, or they're not prepared, right? They think this thing is just it's over with.
Yeah, because right now here in Ontario, they have all these cannabis dispensaries all over the place. Like they're drinking, they're hot, they're drunk, they're drunk off these different philosophies, all these different gods, or so Jake is gonna get an ass whooping, man. The black man and the black woman, or so called, like they're gonna get an ass whooping. You Latinos, Native Americans.
Everybody's playing their part in the movie on stage. Go ahead, brother.
Let me get this precept. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Right? So ultimately, just like the scriptures say, the Lord is going to cut off 2/3 of Israel.
That's right.
This thing is called Jacob's trouble for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord's going to cut 2/3 of Israel, and He's going to bring that 1/3, the whole full elect, through the fire, right? Because they're talking about all kinds of things, man. They're talking about an EMP attack, so no electricity, right? So about lockdowns where you won't have heat. The last lockdown, you had your television, you had your PlayStation, you had all your electronics.
You had a stimulus check.
Yeah, you had a stimulus check.
You had a damn stimulus check.
You get the check.
It's like these people forgot, man. These people acting like it was 10 years ago. It's just 2 years ago, man.
Con, exactly.
Hey, you know what their motto is? Fuck 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Right. So in that time, man, the elect, are going to be they're going to be preserved.
That's right.
He said he's gonna bring them to the fire, and he's gonna purify them. Like gold is purified. So it says, they shall be, verse 71, they shall be like madmen. He saw in his military, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So there's going to be, again, there's going to be lots of men that are going to be in this ministry and in this truth, that are going to die for the word. It says, just like in the time of Acts, this was happening in the time of Acts. Nothing's new. Verse 72 says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses," right? "Then shall they be known who are my chosen."
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of those super duper Israelites, that got their chest puffed out right now, right? That are above the apostles, quote unquote, right? They're going to fold in that time.
Yeah, like they're marching through the streets, man. They're marching, singing. Christ.
They don't understand the full grasp of this ministry.
God.
You know.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Who's king?
Hey man, for them, this is it's not going to get serious for them until it's too late for them.
Kings in the building.
Let's see if you can get away from Jacob's trouble on the horse. Okay, on that stallion.
Like, you're gonna bow down. A lot of them are gonna get to see him. Man.
Absolutely.
They're gonna bow down and be like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it says, verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen. Right, because in that time the elect are going to stand out. The elect are going to be demonized as basically as terrorists. People that are against what? That new world order. And they shall be tried as gold is as gold in the fire. And basically,
the outsiders.
God. Yeah.
The outsiders. The other people.
Yeah, the other people. Khan. Yep. And primarily what's going to be tried, okay, is the faith of the hopeful elect, basically. Right? Their faith, and through their faith is going to be shown that the Lord is dealing with them too.
That's right.
All right, because there's going to be a lot of miracles that are going to take place. All right, in primarily in Babylon over here in the West, but in other areas of the world too.
Yep. We're gonna have, the Most High is gonna have certain brothers because we already watch by angels who's watching our steps. But when Jacob trouble is coming, man, like we might have an angel who's gonna feed us, or a raven, that's gonna give us food, and
Hey, some men will perform spiritual powers, right? Of healing, right? Of food and all those kind of things, because that happened at the time of Acts. Okay.
Yeah.
So verse 74 says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide."
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, and the Lord of Yahweh, Slake, saith the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up.
Yep.
I'm going to go into here, get this one, Matthew 10, and start at 34, Matthew 10 and 34.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because ultimately, Yahushua said, he already had told us that this is basically what he was coming to do. Right? All this division you see among people in various countries across the world, right? It's going to get worse than it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing all these different race wars, religious wars, right? This is all because of prophecy, and this is what Yahushua said concerning those things. He said, Matthew 10 and 34, think not that I am come to send peace on earth, right? I came not to send peace, but a sword. Okay? And what is a sword? A killing instrument. Okay? For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and daughter against her mother. And we saw a light version of this throughout the first lockdowns.
Yep.
Right? Families were broken up. Yep. You had families that were broken up because one had the poke and the other one didn't. And it says daughter against her mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
A man's foe shall be they of his own household. Right. And that's why we constantly warn, all right, Israel, all right, the hopeful elect, starting with the apostles and the elders on down, about not basically being caught off guard with maybe your family turning on you. right? Because that's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of your family members, a lot of our own family members are going to turn on us, right? Because of this truth. That's how bad it's going to get. That's why we have to stay spiritual, right? We have to stay spiritually minded in everything we do. It says, and he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. That's right. Right. The scriptures also say that he that warreth entangle not himself with the affairs of this life. Doesn't mean go out there and be a horrible father or whatnot, but this truth comes first.
Right.
In the end, right? Because this is about our salvation.
Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah.
That's right. Con. So that's it for me. That was the last of my precepts.
I have Daniel 12.
Con.
Daniel 12 verse 1. And at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So this is already written, man. You know, and like we have this because the book or the seal, when you read verse 13, is open unto his servant, his elect. Right? Because this is a mystery.
Yep.
That's been it's unsealed now, you know, because the apostles of you know, because the 12 disciples, you know, like they already knew the certain mysteries, but it wasn't given in a full light. You know,
Right.
the apostles now, you know, apostles of Great Millstone, Apostle Tahar, Apostle, you know, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
They already like the Most High opened up their eyes. You know, this was a gift, all right? Because we have this little book, but a lot of people can't even open this book or read it, man, or understand. Like we're the only one that could understand it. It says, and at that time, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame. So everyone who made their contract with this wicked world, you know, by signing all these wicked deals with the devil, you know, worshiping the devil, you know, and following these Luciferian way of life, are gonna die, man.
That's right.
Like the 2/3 too, the guys who sold out, the so-called Israelites who sold out, man, who got the bag, the Most High is gonna judge them too, man.
Right.
And some to and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And they that be wise shall shine on the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever. So we're the real stars, man. All right. Even though we're fools among you damn people, but end of the day, like we're the real stars, you know. We're basically lighting, or we're shining the light, you know, on the like around the four corners of the world, you know, by making videos, you know, going on the highways and byways, making our testimonies, you know, week in, week out, or day in, day out.
Sure.
But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right? And knowledge is being increased. You know, Psalms 19 it says about the firmament. You know, like basically, like Psalm 19 is like the internet scripture, right?
Yeah.
And basically, you know. So everything being broadcasted live right now, you know.
That's right.
And
knowledge just means to know.
yeah,
So it could mean wickedness or righteousness.
yeah.
But the point is, everything. We're in an age of information, right? So everything is fast. Everything is communication is fast. Mail is fast, right? Everything is just instant.
Instant.
Yeah. We're in the quick response era, especially that QR. Anyway, I'm just saying.
We're live. We're live right now. We're living live at the flesh. We're in the flesh right now.
Is that it on that app?
Yeah.
Yeah, brother's probably got work, so you gotta pull
up.
But real quick, brother, because you brought out Psalm 64, you didn't read verse 2. If you could read that precept, brother. Yeah, you got to read it because it goes into, the elect's protection, which is what we're going into. If you could please read that, Psalm 64 and 2, and then if you could read the 23rd Psalms 1 to 4, or just go to 4 if however you're impressed. And that's it, brother. That's all I got.
Psalm 64 and 2, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
Straightforward. And real quick, just go to Psalms 23 and verse 4, because it sums it up with what came out at the beginning of the lesson in regards to our protection, right, and our security, namely, of course, the elect, the remnant of his seed, right? Going back to the star and the stars, the protection of the stars. Go ahead, brother. That's it. Psalms 23 and verse 4.
This is Psalms 23, verse 4. It says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, my rod, or thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Beautiful. And we know the rod, obviously, is this word, but namely, the Lord has a weapon also, which he calls the rod of iron, the real rod of iron, right? And it starts with this truth that he is put in his elect through the spirit and power. Yeah. Thought I'd bring that. That's it.
So with that, we're going to close this lesson. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh. All right, double honors to the apostles and the also great millstone who rule well and established his word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that also pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. As well as you little my sisters that believe, peace and mercy to your household. And shalom to the brothers on the comment board, the water for participating and posting up the precepts. We're going to say a ball.
About the ball.
Go into the next live lesson. We say shalom to the hopeful elect.
Wait, your son will call you. He needs